What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to a brighter community. It's your boy Speech, and in this video I want to talk about the importance of a dopamine detox slash how to regain your focus and your intention to do whatever it is that you want to do. Now, by doing a dopamine detox, a lot of people think that you have to spend like hours and hours or days and days doing a dopamine detox. And just to clear up really quickly, what a dopamine detox is basically when you refrain from distractions for an extended period of time. That's the most simplest way to put it. So if you're constantly on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, scrolling and doing things like that, you're distracted. You're blocking your mind from being able to focus on tasks that it is that you want to accomplish, whether it be goals, dreams, aspirations, whatever it is. If you're constantly distracted and wasting time, you are giving yourself so much dopamine that life feels boring. You can't stand to sit in silence or be bored, or you lose your mind. You feel like you're crazy. You get stressed, anxious, and things like that. You have to always do something to stimulate your mind, and that's bad for many different reasons that we're not going to get into today. But I want to tell you the importance of why you should do a dopamine detox, and it doesn't have to be for an extended period of time. You can take it slow. First, I want to start by saying your brain is overstimulated, not exhausted. A lot of people think that the reason they can't do certain things is because of themselves, and they talk down on themselves, look down on themselves. But the truth of the matter is your brain is just so overstimulated with everything, with, again, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, but even worse, porn. And this high dopamine makes you weak to boredom. You literally lose your mind. You can't think straight. You feel brain fog. And that's why a lot of young people, like, we have memory problems, and we're trying to figure out why. Like, why is our memory so bad? Why you can't remember names or do this and do that? And it's because you are weak to boredom and you're constantly overstimulated. Your mind is clouded with so much, and you need to feel stimulation all the time. But what if you took a break? Silence literally unlocks your natural thinking ability. So I tested this out pretty much by accident, but on purpose, because I had the intention of doing a dopamine detox. I had the intention of, breaking away from my phone and reading more books and doing things that's going to break my mind and kind of reset my mind to where I could think straight and think clearly. But the reason I did that by accident is because normally when I drive to work, I'm playing music or I'm playing an educational video or something like that. But this one morning, I decided not to play a video because I wanted to pay full attention, like listening. And I was like, I'm gonna wait till I'm on the straightway on the highway. And on my way to work, there's about maybe 3 turns, and I hit the main highway, and then I go on that main highway for maybe another 5 miles before I get onto the other main highway, and then I'm on that same highway for about an hour. So by doing that for about 10 minutes total of driving, I was driving in silence, and I realized my brain naturally started to produce its own thoughts. Now, obviously, we all know that we can have our own thoughts, but by sitting in silence for 5 to 10 minutes, I started creating video ideas such as this one. I started like having my own thoughts and ideas of videos and things that I wanted to accomplish and goals that I wanted to do, businesses I wanted to start. I started thinking about my finances in depth, and it's like, it was just so crazy to me how open my mind became by not constantly being distracted with basically other external things feeding you thoughts. If you're watching a comedy, like, you're listening to what's being told to you. If you're scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, watching YouTube videos, even if it's long form, even if you're like, oh, I have the ability to watch long form, it doesn't matter because you're constantly being fed information. So it's not allowing your brain to think for itself. It's not allowing your brain to exercise and stay in good, healthy shape. And that's why we can easily forget things, because we're constantly being bombarded with information back to back to back, and we don't give our brains time to process. So by giving your brain that little bit of silence, it gives you the opportunity to, instead of receive, you can now create and produce. You want to allow your brain to feed you information instead of information feeding you all the time. Plus, that's why I feel personally why a lot of people nowadays can't form their own opinions, because they're being fed constantly by everyone else's opinion, literally every second of every day. And for me personally, I realized how distracted I was and have been by being in that silence for just that 5 to 10 minutes. Now I ended up driving the rest of the hour in silence because it felt so amazing producing my own thoughts and my own ideas, opinions, formulating and analyzing my entire life and myself and what I need to do in order to be productive. And I feel that's why I've been able to come up with so many ideas, because it's like I'm now being self-stimulated by my own thoughts. And it causes you to really realize, if you sit back and think about it, which you can because you have time now, how distracted we actually are every moment. Because I'm thinking like, well, I drive a lot, so I feel like I have a lot of time to think and study and do this, but turns out I'm still distracted even when I'm driving, even when I'm doing simple things, because I'm always listening to music or playing a video, listening to a podcast. So you realize how distracted life truly is, and it causes you to want to do a dopamine detox even more. And you actually start to regain control over your attention. So when I started doing that dopamine detox without even trying, I was able to focus specifically on what it is I wanted to learn. So at first I was watching a little bit of everything across the board: education, finances, entertainment, and stuff like that. But once I started doing the dopamine detox without even trying, just, small steps, driving in silence, I started to realize exactly what it is that I wanted to do, what I wanted to focus on. And one of those things is YouTube. So I wanted to focus on YouTube video. I started watching more content based on what I wanted to develop. I realized, I wanted to focus more on my finances. I didn't want to be like the everyday person living paycheck to paycheck. So I started focusing and analyzing my own life and what it is that I've been doing to live paycheck to paycheck in the past, so I could break free from that. And I no longer do that. So small batches of moments to yourself builds discipline really quickly. You don't have to become a monk. You don't have to sit in silence and meditate and hum for an hour straight. Even though studies have shown that meditation is extremely amazing for your soul, for your brain, and like the chemicals and everything that produces is very beneficial. However, it's not easy to do, especially because boredom, again, is a weakness. Anything that goes unexercised becomes weak. If you build muscle, it's harder to lose the muscle once you gain it, but if you never use them again, you will lose it. That's where the saying comes from: use it or lose it. But the fact of the matter is, once you develop something, it's harder for you to lose it, even if you use it just a little bit. For example, if you work out a lot, once you build a lot of muscle naturally, as long as you exercise lightly, frequently, it's harder to lose the muscle, versus if you worked out lightly in the beginning, you won't gain it. But once you gain it, it's easier to maintain it. Same thing with knowledge, same thing with understanding, same thing with the dopamine detox. Once you do it for a while, it becomes easy. You no longer need to do it for such an extended period of time to get the same benefits. So again, it is great to start small with the detoxes. And another important thing is that detoxes help break bad habits a whole lot quicker as well. Because certain things that you do that you don't want to do, once you start thinking for yourself, you start to analyze and realize why it's bad for you, why you don't want to do it anymore, and what you can do to basically erase that bad habit or replace that bad habit with a good habit. I kind of went on a little ramble and rant about a bunch of little small things that you can do and why it's important. But now I want to touch on a little bit more important things. So I want to do a little bit more explaining of the why it's important to do a dopamine detox. And then I want to tell you how to do it. I want to tell you how to have a dopamine detox in small sessions without going full monk mode, as we stated before, but also how to basically utilize your time in a more beneficial manner that's going to help you detox or get away from constant dopamine without deliberately steering away from it. it's a little confusing on the way that I'm trying to word it, but you'll see what I mean. So for one, you hear people say, or I don't know if you've heard it, but I've been told like it's actually impossible to multitask. And in my head, I always had conflict with that because I'm like, you actually can multitask. But turns out what they say is that really you're doing things, it's, in my head, it's still at the same time. Because if you got to be this specific, it's still at the same time. But you're doing things differently at such a fast rate that it appears to be at the same time. But in reality, you're not thinking of one thing at the same time. Now, personally, maybe I'm unique when it comes to this, but this is slightly different. But in my mind, I can literally think about 3 different things at the exact same time. I can have 3 separate thoughts at the exact same time. Now, I may be unique there, but I'd be like, well, can't you walk and read a book? Can't you jog and sing along with the song at the same time? The answer is yes, but apparently you're still doing it separately, just at such a fast rate that it appears to be at the same time, but it's still multitasking. But I say that to say that multitasking is very irrelevant because it's actually going to slow down your productivity significantly. If you really want to be most productive, you want to stay focused on one task at a time. And if you want to multitask, let it be a time where you're not thinking of 2 things at the exact same time. For instance, people try to listen to educational videos while doing DoorDash or Uber, or while driving to a certain destination, because they're like, well, if I get there and do this thing while doing this thing, I'm being more productive because I can do it faster. But in reality, you're slowing it down because you have to skip back. You're not paying attention. You have to rewind, reverse. But there are moments and times where you should be multitasking. For instance, my drive to work is an entire hour. If you really want to pay attention to something, I can play an educational video and pay full attention the entire drive there because I know that route like the back of my hand, so I don't have to do any thinking about it. Same thing if you're taking a shower. If you're taking a shower while listening to a productive video, you're actually paying attention. But if you're listening to a productive video while trying to clean, you're actually wasting time because you're going to become frazzled. You're like, wait, what I need to do? You're not even listening to what the words is being said. So you're multitasking and actually hindering yourself from being actually productive. And when you do that with smaller things, and you may be like, well, that's irrelevant, it doesn't really matter. But the truth of the matter is you're constantly still overstimulating yourself without even realizing. You're trying to clean, trying to listen to an educational video. Maybe you're also talking with somebody. Maybe you got a YouTube video pulled up as well. And you're eliminating the chances of doing a dopamine detox. But let's say you're taking a shower, take a shower in silence. Let's say you're cleaning the house or doing the dishes, do it in silence. Allow your brain to think. Don't always play music or try to listen to something, even if you're studying. Don't do it at the same time. Allow your brain to think for a moment, and a lot of times you'll find that your memory improves. A lot of times you'll find that you think about the very thing that you've been studying. You're like, why is it so hard for me to learn? And this is because, again, you're just receiving information instead of replaying the information in your brain by thinking about it on your own terms. So when you study, go sit down, focus, study. Don't try to study and read and wash dishes at the same time. Same thing when you're driving. When you're driving, drive in silence. Once you reach your destination, do what it is that you need to do. That way, again, you're allowing your mind to take a break. And then when it's time for you to receive information again, it's ready to, because it's been fiending for that information. It's been fiending for some type of dopamine. And you don't want to fry your dopamine receptors, you want to reset them. So by taking that short break, you're actually allowing yourself to receive information that's going to stick. And that's how you actually also improve your memory. And that is why meditation is so important. And you stop having the need to, scroll TikTok and do all these other things, because reading a book is actually going to be fun because you need this dopamine hit. So it's going to be more rewarding than if you go from watching YouTube to reading a book. Same thing for video games. And the reason I tell people to start small is because when you try to do everything at once, is overwhelming and you end up not doing it at all or never again. So if you tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna sit out an hour of time to just sit there and meditate, sit there and just ponder and rest, you're never gonna do it because you're never gonna find the time to sit in one spot for an entire hour, and it's gonna be so boring. But if you're driving 10 minutes to somebody's house and you do that in silence, no music, you just did it for a small 10 minutes. Then when you're driving away from that house, you drive in silence again, that's another 10 minutes. And that time adds up to where you can eventually do it more. And you actually start having this motivation that's developed through your own being. And another thing, like a lot of people, they'll be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna watch anything or do anything, and they end up calling somebody. And again, it's like, you're not allowing your brain to sit and think. You're always having transactions. You're always having some type of dopamine hits. And it's like, reset it in small moments. In moments where you do think that you're multitasking, sometimes it's good to just break away from that thing and try not to multitask. Do that thing in silence and see how much better it feels. You may be bored, but I guarantee you learn a whole lot more. If you're studying with a TV on in the background, try turning that TV off, resting for a few moments, just thinking, resetting your brain, letting yourself relax, even just 5 minutes, and then get back to studying with no sound. Watch how much more productive you are. So this, I guess I'll make this video about, why it's important to have a dopamine detox or something like that. Because I kind of got to let the topic get away from me, and I apologize for that. But I just have so much going on in my brain. I need to relax a little more. I did a lot of recording today. I was very busy today, so I finally had time to sit down and record. So again, I apologize if this kind of went off a little bit. Hopefully you got something from this video. Let me know down in the comment section down below. It's your boy Speech, and if you made it to the end of this video, you are already a part of a brighter community. Hit that like switch, speak your truth down below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.